Hi and welcome to Healthy Life Hacks. I'm Jennifer Jefferies, the present day wise woman, a realistic naturopath coming to you from the surfing beaches of Australia. This podcast is for those who are wanting to really rock their lives and health and live from a place of prevention. Let's get into today's episode. You get up, you feed, you go to work, you come home, you feed, you go to bed. Tomorrow you get up, you feed, you go to work, you go home, you feed, you go to bed. The next day, you get up, you feed, you go to work, you go home, you go feed, you go to bed. It's the same thing every day. And nowadays, because of lockdown around the world, so many people are working from home. The definition of Groundhog Day is when you are in a situation in which a series of unwelcome or tedious events appear to be reoccurring exactly the same way. Now, I want to talk about this today. I want to talk about Groundhog Day because it's really interesting. So many people feel like they're living Groundhog Day, and it is now 2021. It's January, and people are, they thought that magically the calendar would turn over and all of a sudden, everything would be wonderfully. And no, same shit's happening. We're repeating. We're still in this pandemic kind of flow. And a lot of people feel like they're just existing and not really living. And I get it. The UK, I'm recording this a couple of weeks earlier than what you're going to get to listen to it. But the UK went back into hard lockdown this morning for the next 8 weeks. Like, it's huge where people don't get to leave the house. It's really huge. And I wanted to talk about this because energetically, I did a post on my social media the other day on my Facebook page. And it was it was like a grid. And I had 50 essential oils listed in that. And it was like, literally share what were the first 3 essential oils that popped out at you. And more than 80% of the time, the essential oil that popped, and this was a survey, like hundreds of people answered this, but more than 80% of the people responded that the first essential oil they saw was lemongrass. And you're just going, oh, well, Jen, it's just lemongrass. No, it's not. I don't know if this is a coincidence, but I find it incredibly interesting that lemongrass essential oil we use for people when they feel like they are existing and not really living. So the aromatherapy insight cards I wrote with the gorgeous Karen Osborne 20 years ago. I wrote the book and she did the amazing paintings that accompanied the guidebook. And we talked about it in episode 21. So go back and have a listen to that episode if you get a chance. And and if you go to YouTube, you'll actually see the video of Karen and I talking. But in my work as a naturopath, I found that there's always an emotional influence on people's physical health. And so I'm really passionate at helping to find that emotional trigger that's giving people physical imbalances. Now, I think it's really interesting that I wrote 20 years ago that lemongrass essential oil it was for times when you're feeling like you're just existing and not really living. And it's about using lemongrass essential oil to help expand your mind and environment to a place where there are no restrictions, self-imposed or otherwise. Think about it, guys. We are living in such a restricted world at the moment. It's insane. Lemongrass is also about using curiosity to allow movement into other realms, experiencing new adventures that renew passion and excitement in your life. Now, I coach people with their health all around the world. And on a day-to-day basis, more people their language is limiting. They've lost a certain amount of hope and spark and are totally feeling restricted and confined, whether they're in a place where there's lockdown or not. And it's big. So lemongrass essential oil, using the essential oils for their emotional uses, is about changing our state. So if the out of balance is that you're feeling like you're just existing and not really living, you use essential oils. And in this case, you would use lemongrass essential oil to help to flip that, so that you can start seeing that excitement and passion and fun stuff in life. And it doesn't matter if you're restricted in a 1-bedroom flat in the middle of New York or London or something like that, or whether you're like, I've still got the freedoms that I've got living where I am. We're not in lockdown at the moment, but but it feels like it's coming. things are just, it's still such an uncertain world. But don't wait to get your head messed up in that stuff. Use the essential oils. And so lemon and grass essential oil is invaluable for that. Now, in previous episodes, I've talked about how, about not being a crap magnet and stuff, because what we think about, we bring about. So I'm all about living from a place of prevention. Lemongrass is the essential oil for you to use to help bring your mind state around if you have been feeling like you're existing. Because remember, what you put out to the world is what you reap. So you're wanting to put out there that your vibe is okay, that you're coping with life, there's hope, you're functioning with whatever restrictions are here at the moment, and let yourself to really start feeling like you're living and not just existing. And I always think of Asia. I spend so much time in Asia, generally in the real world, not this world that's here at the moment. And, the number one food in countries like Bali and all the Southeast Asian kind of ones, Thailand and all those, they stick lemongrass in everything. In fact, my favorite soup I eat in Thailand whenever I'm there is a lemongrass and coconut milk soup. And it is out of this world. Amazing. And, I think of the people of those areas, even the area where I run my charity in Thailand. It is a poor, very poor farming community. And yet those people have got a smile on their face and a vibe within them. They have none of the trappings that we have in life. And yet they live, don't just exist, because it's their attitude and how they show up. Is it a coincidence that they consume a lot of lemongrass? I don't know, but I find it incredibly interesting. So I wanted to speak on this today. We're starting the new year. We're in January, and it's like, I want you to have an epic year, no matter the constrictions or restrictions that you have in your area this year. What are you living into in 2021? What are you into? What's coming up? What are you going to put out there to the universe to be able to manifest, no matter the restrictions? So if you haven't used essential oils before, I'd really encourage you to get some lemongrass. It's a simple and inexpensive oil. One of the most inexpensive oils. It's fabulous. It really is. And it's like that. I can just even thinking about it, I can get the tang in my taste. It's amazing. So whether you're using it simply, put it into a diffuser and have it going in the room. Perfect. Or like at the moment, it's summer here and it's really hot, and it goes really well in a spritzer. So in a spritzer, you would do something, and I'll put go to the show notes, guys, you'll get the recipe, but it's basically combining lemongrass essential oil with some vodka or isopropyl alcohol, because that dilutes the oil into some filtered water. So go to the show notes, www.healthylifehacks.com.au, and you'll be able to find that recipe. But think about using some lemongrass in your life. So one simple healthy life hack, if you have felt you are just existing and not really living, bring some lemongrass into your life, whether in a diffuser, whether in a spritz, or whether you're going to do it even in your cooking. Let's get that vibe back up in you. Cool? So remember, if you want to check out the show notes and grab that recipe, go to healthylifehacks.com.au. And in the next episode, I'm going to talk about my absolute number one way that I operate on a daily basis to prevent overwhelm. That's it. The number one thing I did, tweaked in my life forever ago, and I live into it because it keeps me from going into overwhelm. So make sure you listen into that one. I want to thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed my podcast, please let me know by leaving a review where you're listening in from. Every month, I draw one lucky person who leaves a review to have a free 1-hour consultation with me. If you would like to receive a free copy of my Feed Your Body ebook, simply click the link in the comments below and join my newsletter, and we will get that free ebook sent to you. I welcome your emails, and you can write to me at podcast@healthylifehacks.com.au. Until next time, remember, when it comes to life, live it, love it, and get on with it.